Next order.
Order number 2, communication with the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Member for Kikumbulu South Ward to present a public petition on behalf of the allottees of the Ziwani market in Kikumbulu South Ward, seeking protection against land grabbers. Member for Kikumbulu South. Member for Kikumbulu South. That matter stands deferred. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Leader of the majority party, table the business of the county assembly for the coming week.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the assembly. The business of the county assembly for the coming week. I lay.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
Leader of the majority party to present the business of the coming week.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 47-2A and 55 of the County Assembly Standing Orders, I rise to give a statement on the business of the County Assembly for the coming week. The following business has been tentatively scheduled to be transacted by the County Assembly in the coming week. Monday, 14th April 2025. Petitions. Presentation of a public petition by the Joint Civil Society Coalition regarding the recently concluded Kilome Cluster Development Committee elections. Papers and notices. 1. Tabling of the report of the Committee on Devolution, Public Participation, County Administration and Special Programs on the report of the Makueni County Public Service Board on the Makueni County Public Service compliance with the values and principles in Articles 10 and 232 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Notice of motion shall be given as well. 2. Tabling of the report of the Committee on Environment and Climate Change on the Makueni County Financial Year 2023-2024 Annual Climate Change Progress Report. Notice of motion shall be given. Statements. Response to the statement as was requested by the member for Kadonzweni Ward regarding the implementation of climate change mitigation project at Londokwe Dam in Kadonzweni Ward. 2. Response to the statement as was requested by the member for Emali Mulala Ward regarding the implementation status of all HQ projects since 2013. 3. Response to the statement regarding the operation of plowing and reaping tractor of the Kikumbulu South Ward as was requested by the member for Kikumbulu South Ward. 4. Response to the statement regarding the grabbing of Makasa Kettle Deep in Ngo Masumba Ward as was requested by the member for Ngo Masumba Ward. Motions. Motion for the adoption of the report of the Public Investment Committee on consideration of the report of the Auditor General on Water and Sanitation Company Limited for the year ended 30th June 2018 and 30th June 2019. 2. Motion for the adoption of the half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Communication and Broadcasting for the period July to December 2024. 3. Motion for the adoption of the half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Special Interest for the period July to December 2024. On Tuesday, 15th April 2025, morning plenary. Statements. 1. Response to the statement regarding the need to survey Kingondi market in Mubauke Kumeni Ward as was requested by the member for Mubauke Kumeni Ward. 2. Response to the statement regarding the delayed payment of plant operators in the county as was requested by the member for Mulala Emali Ward. 3. Response to the statement regarding the effects of oil spillage from the Kenya Pipeline Company Limited pipeline in Thange Ward as was requested by the member for Thange Ward. Motions. Motion for the adoption of the half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Communication Broadcasting for the period July to December 2024. Afternoon plenary, statements. 1. Response to the statement regarding the blockage of a toilet by a private developer at Kilili Market in Zawi, Kilili, Kalamba Ward, as was requested by the member for Zawi, Kilili, Kalamba Ward. 2. Response to the statement regarding the shoddy works in the construction of a masonry tank at Kadiaka Market in Kikumbulu North Ward, as was requested by the member for Kikumbulu North Ward. 3. Response to the statement regarding the non-implementation of the various road projects in Bitini Ward, as was requested by the member for Bitini Ward. And 4. Response to the statement regarding the lack of maintenance of county roads in Kadonzweni Ward, as was requested by the member for Kadonzweni Ward. Motions. The half-yearly progress report of the Committee on Special Interest for the period July to December 2024, the report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the consideration of the 2024 Makueni County Budget Review and Outlook paper on Wednesday, 16th April 2025. Statements. 1. Response to the statement regarding the delayed payment of hospital casuals workers across the county, as was requested by the member for Kadonzweni Ward. 2. Response to the statement regarding the report of the plot validation exercise conducted in Emali Old Town, as was requested by the member for Emali Mulala Ward. 3. Response to the statement regarding the impassable status of the Kivani Road in Kilungu Ward, as was requested by the member for Kilungu Ward. And 4. Response to the statement regarding the poor workmanship and incomplete works on Kwajones Mwani Girls Road in Watenzio Ward, as requested by the member for Watenzio Ward. 5. Response to the statement regarding solid waste management in the county, as was requested by member for Zawi, Kilili, Kalamba Ward. 6. Response to the statement regarding the lack of supply of a transformer mainly for data and CTTI in Kikumbulu North Ward, as was requested by the member for Kikumbulu North Ward. Motions. Motion for the adoption of the half-yearly progress report of the County Investment Committee for the period July to December 2024. Mr. Speaker, sir, there shall be a meeting of the Assembly Business Committee on Monday, 14th April 2025 at 9 a.m. And pursuant to the decision of that meeting, additional business may be scheduled to be transacted by the County Assembly during that week. Thank you.
Member for Mavindini Ward to request for a statement from the Chairperson, Committee of Finance and Socio-Economic Planning regarding the County Assembly and Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Fund. Member for Mavindini.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, pursuant to the provisions of Article number 185(3) of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, Section 39(2) of the County Governments Act 2012, and starting order number 50 of the Makueni County Standing Orders, I rise to request a statement from the Chairperson, Committee on Finance, Socioeconomic Planning, and Socioeconomic Planning regarding the County Assembly and County Executive Car Loan and Mortgage Fund. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Car Loan and Mortgage Fund is a revolving fund and caters for both the county executive and the county assembly public officers who are employed on permanent and pensionable basis, for public servants and for state officers who are either on full-time or part-time basis, by providing a loan scheme for the purpose of advancement of state officers and public officers, funds for purchasing a car, developing, renovating, or repairing residential property by members of the scheme, purchasing of a residential plot for the purpose of construction of a residential property, constructing a house for residential purposes. The fund is established by Regulation 3 of the Makueni County State and Public Officers Car Loan and Mortgage Fund Regulation of 2017. Mr. Speaker, sir, the fund, which mainly consists of amounts appropriated by the County Assembly from time to time, sums of money earned by or raising from the fixed deposits meant in respect of the fund has been in operation for over 5 years and served many state and public officers, both the county assembly and the county executive. The Speaker, sir, the fund being a loan scheme suffers the likelihood of a loan default just like any other lending facilities within the financial markets. Similarly, the realization of loans by applicants is dependent on successful applications as may be determined by the board or committees managing the fund, both at the county assembly and the county executive. The Speaker, sir, the leader of the chairperson should therefore clarify on the following. 1, state the operating capital of a fund, both at the assembly and the executive, clearly showing the current balance. 2, clarify on the number of bank accounts operated by the fund at both assembly and executive. Of course, this will be backed by the bank statements for the last 3 years. C, whether the fund has had any bad debts. If yes, provide the total of the debt and the list of defaulters and the reasons for the default. D, provide a breakdown of the loans approved and issued in the last 3 years, provided the name of applicant, the amounts applied, and the amount approved and disbursed. E, whether in the last 3 years, other than loan disbursements, the proceeds of the fund have been used for any other purpose. If yes, state the purpose and the amounts and funds for each, and for each such purpose, and probably attach minutes of such approvals. F, whether such monies and funds for other purposes other than loan disbursements for the 3 years have been repaid back. Provide the total amounts disbursed for other purposes and the amounts repaid back, amounts there to be repaid back together with proof of repayments. G, when will the unrepaid amounts be paid and what are the reasons for the non-payment? H, whether there are loans requests which have not
Irrigation, Livestock and Fisheries Development to give a response to statement number 39 of 2024 as requested by the member for Emali Mulala Ward regarding the implementation of various agriculture projects in the county. Chairperson, Committee of Agriculture.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Speaker, today we had a meeting. The member for Emali briefly came into the meeting and he went away. We called him. He could not come back. Maybe most likely he was committed somewhere else.
Information, Honorable Speaker.
So, Speaker.
Information, Honorable Speaker.
So, Speaker.
Not member for Emali. You want to inform the chairperson or the assembly?
Yeah. The House and the House entirely. The House, Honorable Speaker.
Proceed, member for Emali.
My good brother, Honorable Francis Mutuku, is giving some false information. And Honorable Speaker, I had an invitation to meet, to sit the committee at 10. Honorable Speaker, I was at committee exactly at 10. The only member who was present was Honorable Jospin, who I'm sitting next to. The other members were not there. They came at 11 when I was on other activities. That is when they made a call requesting me to come back. It's unfortunate that I was busy and held up somewhere else. So it is good to be clear, the committee did not meet as scheduled. I need an Honorable Muso to get that information.
Mr. Speaker.
So they met against the schedule, the planned schedule. They must learn the essence of being time conscious. And I think there's a committee which is led by a seasoned member, a member who was in council, county council, a member who was in first assembly, a member who is a seasoned member. It is not good to give lies in this honorable house. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member, the chairperson, on that, you want to respond on that? It's just information. Okay, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I don't think it is honorable for that member to say we met at 11. So, Speaker, we met at exactly 10:23. The minutes can attest, Mr. Speaker. And again, I can say with a lot of confidence, Mr. Speaker, we met the member for Ngu. He had some business with the committee. We executed. We tried to get that member. He was not there. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm really wondering. I had almost a full house of my committee. So he's just giving very wrong information. It's fair to say this matter was executed in this assembly. What is remaining for Kaleli, Honorable Kaleli, is to tell us whether he's satisfied with what is here or not. He has not identified.
Proceed then and table the response, please. Present.
Mr. Speaker, let me say there's nothing to table. Why am I saying there's nothing to table? We are going to table exactly the report that we brought in this house, Mr. Speaker. He has not identified any gaps. So what are we going to do? To give the members now? The same report. You are saying he was with us. I think there's a lot of interaction. I don't know whether the gadgets are working. Are they? So, Mr. Speaker, what I'm trying to say is that this report came to this house. It was executed. It was given to the ECM for implementation. But the honorable member requested to know some things which are already contained in this report, Mr. Speaker. So when we met, we told him to come and give us the gaps, which he believes are in this report. He has not given us any. So what are we going to present as a committee? We present the same report again?
Member for Ilima.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I think the two members should understand very clearly, Speaker, sir, that if the member raised an issue in the report and they went back and looked at the report in his absentia, what is so difficult to present what they found, the facts they found, so that the member can also hear it from here? I think the Honorable Chair can go ahead and read the areas of concern, and that will help us to close this matter.
Member for Ilima, the issue is, as the report was presented, the member raised issues, I guess at the floor of the House. Is it, Chair? And probably the same issues were contained in the same report. And the member either didn't turn up or the committee didn't meet on time so that they could be able to iron out issues. So at the point where we are is that the committee met, but the member is saying the time that he was invited, the committee was not present. So that is where we are. The chair is saying the content as it was in the other report is still the same content, if I hear you clear. Because they have not had an opportunity to interrogate issues from the member, if I am clear. But Chair, if the issues were raised at the floor of the House, and the response was found and it's satisfactory. Okay, proceed.
I have used the word the matter was executed by this assembly and forwarded for implementation. So what we are waiting for, and that's why we invited the honorable member for Emali, was my young brother. Yeah? We invited him to give us the gaps that he believes are in this report. We have nothing else, against him. I don't know why he's bashing me in this assembly, Mr. Speaker. I'm really wondering. I really respect him, but actually he's on my neck always.
Honorable Speaker,
Okay, member for Mali, proceed.
Honorable Speaker, I have this to say. We must treat matters of this House very honorable and with a lot of respect. I raised pertinent issues, Honorable Speaker. And one, as the chair is saying, true, there is a report and a response. In the response, the chair, which he brought it, the House, for example, on matter of Kalamba alone, it indicates that the total expenditure was 632 million. In the report, it indicates 1.5 billion expenditures. Those are two contradicting information, giving the same response, for example. I talked about, Honorable Speaker, value for money. When I questioned the committee to respond on matter of value for money and give way forward on how this facility can help our people, how this facility can be helpful to our farmers. That is just an example. The response here indicates that from the committee, it indicates that the department is recruiting some other staffs. Yet the challenge, as per the report by the committee, it's that they require 200 million as capital to run the facility. But what they are doing, they are recruiting. They are talking of recruiting staffs. The challenge is not the staff. The challenge is 200 million capital. I am talking about this, Honorable Speaker, because as a way forward, we should be indicated during the budget making. This is the confirmation of what the department is doing to ensure that the facility operates across the year. Because in their response, they say it is seasonal. It only operates within 3 months. That is, for example, Kalamba alone now. I'm not even talking about the Makindu green gram factory, which has staff who get salary every month and which is not operational, which has been tested, the machine were tested, and it is not working. When we were doing this project, Honorable Speaker, one element was to create jobs. One element was value addition for the farmers. All those were not responded, and that's why I wanted a clear map on how these facilities will help our people. And that could be guided by the committee if they are objective on what we are saying. It is not a competition of who is talking what or what is good, but how can we help our farmers? Well, Chia is saying they were seated at 2:30. My phone, Honorable Kimongo called me at 10:58, 2 minutes to 11. That is when they sat.
Member for Mali, where we are, because you raised those issues last time. And I want to inform the Chair for Agriculture, the reason why it is in the order paper, it is because there were issues that were raised and they were not satisfactory. That is why it appears in the order paper. Otherwise, if it was dispensed, then it could have been done away from the order paper.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think it is for the same reason that we invited the member to come to the committee so that we can actually identify those gaps. Since today, he has claimed that actually he came and just, he was very impatient. He ran away, I don't know what was pushing him. We invite him to come at exactly 9 on Monday. That is when the committee meets, and then we will finish up with these matters.
Chair, the committee is supposed to meet at 10. Today? Is it today? No, a special meeting. At what time? Today. Yes, at what time? At 10. The member was invited? Yes. At 10. Yes. So the member didn't show up, or? No, he showed up and before the committee was fully constituted. That was between 10 and 11? 10 and 11. Member, is that fine? That between 10 and 11? So, therefore, so that we, fine. Fine, Chair. Member for Kikumbulu North.
Mr. Speaker, as the chair of agriculture is putting, okay, the meeting was supposed to start at 10, but there is 30 minutes grace period. And within that time, we had met. So he came early and he was impatient. I believe if he would have waited for the grace period, he would have been there. Because basically after 30 minutes when it's supposed to be disbanded, but we didn't. We were there by that. And that's why we were able to see the member for Ngo. And Mr. Speaker, we are still willing to meet the honorable member because we know we are willing to meet so that we may handle these things for the benefit of Makuenians. And we are willing to meet him on Monday, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Fine, I think that's fine, honorable members.
Mr. Speaker, sir, there is a culture we need to deal with in this assembly. It is obvious that most of the people who come for the committees, sometimes people meet late. But when you invite an honorable member and their burdens is scheduled, we need to be more serious than ever. Because if a member comes and is expected to sit for 30 minutes waiting and he might be in another meeting or expecting another meeting, we are not being fair to the members. Especially on a special invitation. To me, I would say, it's a high time we need to be more serious and more serious. That member is an aggrieved member. They should have been there in their place of meeting early. We cannot use that one as an excuse.
That's fine. Chair, it is true that the committee met late. It is true from your sentiments. That's why we are saying the member for Elima is suggesting not necessarily to the chair agriculture. Order chair. Order chair. Take your seat, please. Take your seat. Thank you. Thank you. The member for Elima is asking all other committees, inclusive, that if at any time you give a special invitation to a member, then it means that business should be taken serious. That if the member shows up at 10 and finds that there are no members, or for example, there is no committee, that even in our businesses, that we need to ensure that we keep time, ensure that the people that we have invited, at least we meet them with time. Therefore, Chair, that being obliged, I direct that at 9, you said at 9, at 9 a.m. on Monday, member for Mlala, Imali, at 9 a.m. on Monday morning, you appear before the committee will be meeting. I have done that ruling. I have done. That on Monday morning at 9 a.m., please ensure that you meet the committee. No problem, member from... No problem, I'll give you... Member from Mavindina, I hear you. I have the speaker, I have ears, I hear you. I'll give you an opportunity, no problem. No hurry. We are not in a hurry to any place. But take your seat. Take your seat. Thank you. Thank you. Therefore, Chair, please make sure that 9 a.m. your committee is convened and the member is directed, and at 2:30 p.m. on Monday, you table the response. Member from Mavindin, you had something to say. Just say. From the mercies of the speaker, please.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to say that based on what the Honorable Member for Elima was trying to put across, or what he said, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to say this matter, this statement came before this assembly. It was debated upon, and the matter, the speaker, the chair found the statement not satisfactorily responded to. And that's the reason. The reason for that is because the member for the request of the statement actually put straight his argument. And we have answered. And these things are recorded, Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
I cannot find in my wisdom the reason why we should insist that the request of the statement should beat the committee. Point of order. We have all the information.
Thank you, member from Mavindini. Now, it's good that you say you don't find the wisdom. And that's why you are on that side, I am on this side. Because I found the wisdom, and the member of the committee have found the wisdom to appear online, and the member has not raised an objection. The member from Emali Mulala ward. And therefore, for us, and on behalf of the people of Makueni, it's fine that we get the details as requested by the member for Emali Mulala from the committee, and we have a good report. We can proceed. Chairperson, Committee of Lands. Chairperson, Committee of Lands, to table a report. To respond to a statement as requested regarding the implementation of functions transferred to Emali Sultan Municipality. Chair Lance.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we request for additional time. Reason being, we requested for additional information from the ECM, and he has not responded.
Chair, when was the statement requested? When was the statement requested? As a chair, you don't know when it was requested. Chair, in the assembly, we are not dealing with the clerk. We deal with the chair. Therefore, press it.
Honorable Speaker, we are requesting for 7 days additional. We are requesting for 7 days to respond to the statement.
Chair, I am asking as a speaker, when was the statement requested? Because the next question is, before we went to recess, when did you write to the ECM? We need to have good times. When did you request for the additional information? Because you said that the ECM didn't respond. You press your gadget. One and
Oh, yes. You know, this thing is confusing me. We requested a statement before we went to the statement. So we have been calling the ECM to bring the response, the additional information. And they told us that they were in the PP, so we are going to get the response this week. So as a committee on Monday, we sit here and then we bring it at 2 p.m.
Sure, the PPs were conducted last week. You said you wrote to the ECM before we went for recess.
Chair, the PP for the ward was done. That's what the ECM told us. So he told us they will bring it this week so that you can sit on Monday, and by 2 p.m. on Monday, we bring to the assembly.
Chair, I don't want you to run to the Monday. I want you to confine yourself from when the statement was requested, when you wrote to the CEC, when you did a reminder, and what action have you taken if the CEC has not responded? Because the CEC was not the person facilitating the public participation. It is a budgeting process.
That was the response from the ECM. The ECM told us that he was going to bring it this week, please.
Chair, we are not the ECM. We are not operating at the luxury of the ECM, or you as a chair, because this assembly was slotted business right before we went for recess. The member for Emali, on behalf of the people of Emali Sultan Municipality, requested for a statement. But at your own luxury time, you want to give us the time that you are comfortable with. Because as a chair, you need to have details. When was the statement requested? When you wrote to the CEC, or except if you don't have, you have the latitude of time to consult your clerk and come back to this assembly and report to us. This assembly of serious people. Please take it as so. Consult your clerk, get to have the information, give us. Then we will make a determination.
Honorable Speaker, on Monday we had the committee sittings. We called the ECM. Then he advised us that to give him time you bring this week so that you can sit out on Monday and then bring it to 2 p.m.
Chair, in your initial statements, you said you wrote to the CC. The CC has not responded up to now. And we are still there. Please, stop taking us in rounds. The question is from the speaker now. We want to help you because you are unable to help your CC. When was the statement requested? How many days did you give the CC? Because if the CC was given a specific timeline, you didn't have to go through a call. This assembly was not there. It was a personal call between you and your committee and the CC. The matter is before the assembly. And I've given you the latitude of time to consult your clerk so that you can tell us this statement was requested on this date. This has been the communication up to this moment. The rest are stories. Please proceed and consult your clerk. Chairperson Lance, Urban Planning, to respond to a statement as requested by the member for Mboni Ward regarding the grabbing of public utility land in Kikima Market, Mboni.
Honorable Speaker, is the same. We combined the both statements so that we can answer together. So we are just waiting the same from this.
And we will combine the questions for you. When was this statement again requested? Chair, this is to tell you that you are not in control of your committee then. If in both statements you don't know when they were requested, you don't know the timeline that you gave your waziri, it means as a committee you're not taking your work serious. Do we take it as so? Not really. We can delegate if it's too hard for you to answer the questions. Let's take it at this. Sorry, let me guide. Members, the gadget that you are using, once I press mine off, you press yours. Then it will indicate to me that you have pressed. Thank you.
I think, Honorable Speaker, that needs some attachments so that people can know how to do it. Honorable Speaker, remember we were in recess. This is the first week after recess. That's the reason why, after recess, is the time we start on Monday so that we can respond to those statements. So, as you have directed, let me consult my clerk to bring the final, to bring the matter to the end.
If I give you Monday at 2:30 to present a report?
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Monday at 2:30 for both statements, without fail. Without fail. Next order.
Order number 8, motion. The report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the consideration of the Makueni County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2025.
Chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee on the consideration of the Makueni County Fiscal Strategy Paper.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move the following motion, that this Assembly adopts the report of Budget and Appropriation Committee on consideration of Makueni County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 8th April 2025. Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, I will just go to the committee observations. That is page number 5. And maybe I just introduce the Water County Fiscal Strategy paper. Honorable Speaker, this is a paper whereby a document which comes with from the executive through the head of Treasury to lay strategies, priority strategies as pertains on this, to come up with the ceilings of the departments. Honorable Speaker, through the document, the observation which we were meant by the committee are as follows, that the agriculture production in the main value chains have sustained increased output over time, but farmers are not able to access markets. 2, the pending bills pose a challenge of budget implementation. 3, the personnel emolument expenditure projection for financial year 2025-2026 is Kenya shillings 5.1 billion, which is equivalent to 46% of the total expected revenue. This exceeds the 35% threshold set out in Section 25(1)(b) of Public Finance Management Act, County Governments, Regulations 2015. 4, the revenue from conditional grants and donor funding has been on a downward trend. 5, that the county is experiencing severe sanitation problem that can resort to waterborne diseases. 6, that the 2025 Makueni County Fiscal Strategy Paper proposed that toward projects allocations to be set at 3.6 billion in the financial year 2025-2026, down from the 39 million contained in the approved 2024-2025. The proposed recurrent expenditure ceiling for the county assembly is Kenya shillings 839,631,315, while the allocation for the development expenditure ceiling is set at 10 million. These allocations are inadequate for the efficient county assembly legislative oversight and representation. Mr. Speaker, I will go direct to recommendations. Honorable Speaker, before I go to recommendation, there is something which I want to mention there. We have these sector working groups, whereby I just feel that the county assembly should be involved during the sector working groups, at least to bring their views to the head of treasury and that is the head of treasury, who happens to be the ECM finance, on matters of ceilings for the county assembly on development and also the recurrent, and before the county fiscal strategy paper is brought in this assembly, because the 10 million, we feel that for development for the county assembly is not enough, and also the ceiling for the recurrent, which is 839 million, we feel that is not enough for the county assembly. So Speaker, the recommendation which we made as committee are as follows. The Department of Agriculture and Livestock should come up with agricultural marketing strategy and fully operationalize the Makueni County Cooperative Act 2017 by 30th June 2025. So Speaker, we have seen that the farmers are doing their best to produce, but when it comes to marketing, it's not, we are not doing well as county government of Makueni, and we are not doing good to our farmers. Therefore, this cooperative movement or Cooperative Act 2017 should be enhanced. Number 2, all accounting officers should improve on budget absorption rates. Sectoral committees be reporting on quarterly budget implementation to the House. So each sector should be reporting quarterly implementation to the House on how they are going to make sure that they achieve or implement their budgets. 3, the county government should comply with 35% threshold set out in Section 225(1)(b) of the Public Finance Management, that is County Governments Regulation 2015 on personnel emolument. In this regard, the county government should consider conducting a survey to establish the existence of skills, gap analysis, and development of optional organization structure. Recruitment should be frozen until the survey is finalized, and only critical vacancies. Sorry, Honorable Speaker. In this regard,
In this regard, the county government should consider conducting a survey establishing the existing skills gap analysis and development of optimal organization structure. The recruitment should be frozen until the survey is finalized, and only critical vacancies should be filled through replacement. This will aid in managing the ballooning wage bill. The survey should be finalized and a report submitted to the county assembly by 30th September 2025. Honorable Speaker, this pertains the wage bill, which is ballooning to 46%, which is contrary to 35%, whereby, Honorable Speaker, this is a problem even to the national government. And you remember one of the strategies for the national government, even it was issue to do with the data verification of the officers, where some people or some officers were found with fake certificates, and those ones were sent home to pave way for the correct officers or officers with the correct certificates to be employed and also to work for the people of Kenya. So this one we have recommended that can we frozen this recruitment for some time, and also verification of that data to be done. And also that report will be submitted to us. Number 4, the county treasury should embark on drafting grants regulation to provide a legal framework of engaging all development partners, donors, pursuant to Section 139 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 by 30th September 2025. Honorable Speaker, for us to make sure that the investment is done in our county, we should come up with drafting grant reservations and provide a legal framework by 30th September 2025. 5, recommendation, the Department of Water and Sanitation should come up with proposal to construct decentralized treatment facilities, DTFs, within sub-counties to ensure proper waste water disposal. The plans should be submitted to county assembly by 30th September 2025. Number 6, recommendation, ward allocation for each ward should be retained at that 9 million in the financial year 2025-2026. Mr. Speaker, that comes after a recommendation whereby we have seen is that 6 million, and that is a drop from that 9 million per ward. Number 7, for proper functioning of the county assembly, the county assembly ceiling for the financial year 2025-2026 should be set at 1,043,126,306. All shall be contained the county allocation. All shall be contained in the County Allocation Revenue Act 2025, that is CARA 2025, for the current expenditure. Further, the county treasury should consider allocating at least 110 million in the financial year 2026 for the completion of incomplete county assembly development projects. Honorable Speaker, that is the reason why I said we have sector working groups, whereby I just felt that the accounting officer for the county assembly, who happens to be the clerk, maybe was not involved in this county fiscal strategy paper formulation, because 10 million for development, Honorable Speaker, was very small for this county assembly, and also retaining our current expenditure to 839, it means that it is very small. All it means that we are just stagnant at one point whereby we are not growing, and we need money for our core mandates, that is legislation, representation and oversight, and also budget making process and approval, Honorable Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I feel I would want to mention the objectives, why the county fiscal strategy paper, the objective of this 2025 Makueni county fiscal strategy paper. The reason why they came up with this county fiscal strategy paper: support economic transformation and job creation. Number 2 is address emerging development challenges. Number 3, integrate climate resilience strategies into development interventions. D, strengthen revenue mobilization Honorable Speaker, on the mobilization of revenue, is, as you are aware that there is evaluation role which was done, and somehow we are not, we have not effected, or we have not started collecting revenue through run rates. This is something we should think of, and also we should work closely with the head of Treasury, so that at the end of the day, at least we can have our own source revenue increasing, and maybe we are able to cater for our recurrent expenditure and especially the salaries. D, the strengthened revenue mobilization that I've mentioned, and then E, align count priorities with the national development goals, which is obvious. We should work closely with the priorities of the national development. F, promote prudent financial management, uphold the principles of Public Finance Management Act 2012, ensuring fiscal discipline, accountability, efficient resource utilization. Then we have G, enhance participatory governance, of which we are doing through public participations. H, that is promote equity, inclusivity in resource allocation. I, that is provide framework for budget preparations. Honorable Speaker, those are the objectives. Honorable Speaker, on this count fiscal strategy paper, we usually get a review of what has happened when it comes to revenue and also on development per sector. Revenue performance, Honorable Speaker, it is indicated. I don't think I should read all that. That is page 10. We should also see, also we have indicated, also the report indicates on ceilings for the salaries on them, recurrent development, also for the counter assembly the same. And then, Mr. Speaker, as I said, these are paper which brings the development priorities, and also we try to match that with our medium term. Mr. Speaker, I don't think we may go much on this one, but I've indicated the areas where we have seen sort of importance, that is our observation and also recommendation. The other document can be read through by the members. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, at this moment, I will call Honorable Musso to second the motion.
Honourable members, I now propose a question that the Assembly adopt the report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the consideration of Macon County Fiscal Strategy Paper of the year 2025, laid on the table of the Assembly on 8th of April, year 2025. Floor is open. Mover of the motion. Before then, I gather that you are talking about that the executive maintain the ceilings for the county assembly. So what was your, the executive gave you a paper to do what you want to do with it, to decide whether to reduce the figures for the Department of Water, for the executive, to increase for the assembly or reduce. Now what do you want us to do? If you photocopied what the Waziri sent you, how would we help you, Chair? Development assembly is 10, you photocopied the same paper you brought to us. We rubber stamp and then proceed. Is there a recommendation on increase?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. There is a recommendation of increase. And on budget making process, just think page 5, where we have observation and recommendation, we'll see it. Honorable Speaker, I feel that there is a gap whereby the sector working groups, whereby the head of departments, the accounting officers should be involved, because no way, when we inquire from the accounting officer, the accounting officer on development of the county assembly we are getting a figure of 110 million, while the report, which was or the county fiscal strategy paper ceiling for the development, it was 10 million. You see, that big difference, it means that the sector working groups, our accounting officer was not involved on this matter, according to me. But all the same, we are
telling us why this is a problem and how the Executive Committee of Finance committed to resolve this matter. Number two, the accounting officers should improve on budget absorption. The point should be, you should have information as to why the budget absorption we had a problem, and the responses of the Executive Committee member. Recommendation number 2, page 5. Yes. So it's a statement, but there's no indication as to why there was no budget absorption, no explanation. And then 3, yes, I'm saying you have been told this absorption rate at 40%, for example. But what is the reason of absorption of 40% and not 90? What explanation has been given to low absorption? It's not provided.
Write certificates or the papers, and through that, you have seen some members going on because they had fake certificates. So we are talking about 46% wage bill where it is now, but we should lower it to 35%. And we have done a recommendation regarding that.
Number 6 is that the ward allocation for each of the wards should be retained at 39.
Because according to county fiscal strategy paper, it's at 36%. How it dropped by 3 million, that is why we have recommended, because we had 39 the last year, and now it has gone to 36. How it was decreased to 36, we don't know, but we are making a recommendations, budget and appropriation committee, can we retain it at 39 million?
Did you engage the executive committee member?
Yes, we engaged the executive committee member.
Responses?
One, as you are aware that there was a reduction on our revenue from equitable share, that is about 265 million.
That's last financial.
That is last financial year, and based on the fact that there was that reduction and our economy is not growing, they felt that we should go down to that 6%, but according to us, we feel that 39 should be remained.
Okay, Chair, I hear you. You respond to the question, to the motion?
Thank you.
I can see what you're saying is a proper function of the assembly ceilings should be 1.04 billion, or shall be contained in CARA. What was the assembly's proposal? And therefore the committee finds it necessary to agree with the proposal by the county assembly and disagreeing with the executive committee member.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think the first question which you asked is about the views from the county assembly on the ceilings of the county assembly, whereby the county assembly did not give views. And that is why we had to come up with this 1 billion, that is 1.043 billion. And also—
So where do you take the 1 billion from? Where did you get it from? Because the commission budget is a neutral arbiter.
Yes. At that moment, because at the moment when the county fiscal strategy paper was being done, the county assembly failed to give the views. So when we got the county fiscal strategy paper, we had to work with the clerk and gave us these numbers. We did not give views.
Member for you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, if I follow the discussion, and I'm quoting from the past experience, you know, history is the backbone of the future. At some point, we were at Mombasa, where we engaged the governor, as our whole elected members. And basing our argument on that, every member felt there was no equity in distribution of projects when it is under the HQ. And that's the time we requested for the increment of 6 million so that we can get some equity across the whole count. Now, basing that kind of argument, we have already witnessed the extent at which this difference of 6 million has worked across the 30 wards. If I may quote in Ilima, we just concluded recently, the governor coming to launch the distribution of tents, which has impacted so strongly. Now, looking at the kind of percentage which the governor is given in terms of development, there is nothing wrong if he retains 2 billion and he releases 1.3 billion to the other side for the sake of distribution across the board. Because what goes to the governor, it is mandated by his own department and done in different particular areas. If this is the only thing which we can say is going to strike a balance in terms of development when it comes to distribution of HQ projects. So I think the budget committee, basing on the experience of the past, the discussions which have been prevailing, the developments going on, there is nothing to be done public participation. It is for the interest of the whole world that this thing is viably accepted by everybody sitting in this particular house. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Elizabeth Mutini.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My opinion may not be very popular, but
Honorable Elizabeth, you are out of order. You did not come here to popularize with your other members. You came here to popularize the constituency that you represent. So you are free to say as it is. Whether people agree or disagree, it's up to them. So feel free and say what you wish to say.
Well guided, Mr. Speaker. It was just a disclaimer. So, Mr. Speaker, there is no equity in uniformity. Because, Mr. Speaker, the ward allocation has always been equal across all the wards at 33 million. So even if it's increased uniformly again, there will not be equity. I believe equity means where the allocating more funds to the kind of projects which are lacking, for example, and you might find that the need is bigger in one ward than another. So that equity may never really be achieved by allocating equal amounts to every ward. That notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, this house is a house that does more of oversight than implementation. And therefore, if we open that Pandora's box of, it is good to sit down and negotiate, but if it is something that is not possible, Honorable Speaker, the implementer is the executive, and that is where more weight should be seen as opposed, because as legislators, we don't do projects. At the end of the day, even if they give us 5 million per ward, they are still the people executing the projects. Mr. Speaker, I am not interested in the information. Mr. Speaker, I am not interested. So I think what we need to, to be fighting.
Member for Elima, you are out of order.
Thank you for your protection, Mr. Speaker. I think what we need to be reiterating is that the projects that we are doing, if they are impacting to the, does not give him absolute.
Mr. Speaker, to disagree with my colleague, Honorable Bishop Jonathan Modoka, so strongly, Mr. Speaker, that it should go into record.
Are you on a point of order, or are you contributing? Or your Honorable Mutini's point of order? Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am saying that it should go into record, Mr. Speaker, because for a very long time, this fight between the special elect and the elected members, Mr. Speaker, has gone so for long and has brought a lot of hatred and disrespect between us elected and special elect members. Mr. Speaker, in as much as our roles, Mr. Speaker, as an elected member, as a direct, Mr. Speaker, responsibility because we are voted on the ballot. However, Mr. Speaker, the regulations at the IEBC gives us equal rights to be in this house, Mr. Speaker. Our rights in the manner, Mr. Speaker, how we vote in this house. If it's a motion, Mr. Speaker, there is no special vote for an elected member and a lesser vote for a nominated member, Mr. Speaker. When we are elected to committees, to serve in committees, Mr. Speaker, again, the voting rights or the weight in terms of votes, how we take sides at the committees, Mr. Speaker, are equal. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, as we debate, Mr. Speaker, I would wish, because they acknowledge, the special elect members acknowledge that elected members are elected directly by the people. And yes, we have that direct mandate from the people. But as far as the budgets and the discussions, the debates around projects within Makueni County, Mr. Speaker, from where you sit, I think, Mr. Speaker, you should find the honorable member out of order because they have a right to contribute to any project anywhere for as long as it appears on that budget. Whether it is award level, whether it is at flagships, whether it involves operations and maintenance, they have every other equal right, Mr. Speaker, because this debate, Mr. Speaker, I think it is high time we put it to an end. Mr. Speaker, the special electors have supported the elected members for a very long time, and we urge them to continue supporting the elected members because, Mr. Speaker, they know going to the field and, through dust and sleepless nights to get votes is not easy. And Mr. Speaker, they know they are here because we were elected in some quarters in terms of ratios. That's how they are here, because those ratios mandated them or else gave them opportunity to come here. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, with all that acknowledging that they support us fully and they respect us, I think it is the high time, Mr. Speaker, we put records straight and give them the space so that they can breathe when they are in this house in terms of the floor and even before the committees, Mr. Speaker, because we want their equal contribution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Lima Ward.
Mr. Speaker, fine, I think I regretfully.
Are you in order? Yes or no?
Mr. Speaker, for the slip of the tongue, I'm out of order, but for the contribution I wanted to give, I don't think that I'll be out of order if I can give the explanation.
Indeed, you agree.
I regretfully about the issue of the non-elected and the elected, because she's also my good sister and we've done a lot of things together. And I wouldn't wish to hurt her being part of this sister. And also this other team like Modike, we've really crisscrossed Lima together. I think that it was a slip of the tongue. But
so she's right to say that she knows some projects you may not know.
No, she does not know any project I don't know. It's like the way I know my hands. Yes, that one I disagree with her. Because Lima is a place I was born, is a place I spent the time, is a place you cannot enter the borders of Lima and I'm not aware. Yes, unless you come at night and disappear at night. So for the slip of the tongue, I withdraw the statement. But for the contribution, this is what I want to say, Mr. Speaker. You find that from experience, I don't want to quote from theory. From experience, the difference which was extended to us from the executive as elected members in terms of development achievements, it was highly profound and highly spread across the whole world. And everybody seated here who is an elected member can attest to this. If I may quote a few, almost most of the elected members seated here, they gave out tents from the same 6 million. Some of them gave even PA systems and tanks like Zakika. Others did projects which they could not achieve with the 33 million. Now, the essence of a government, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is to ensure there's some distribution or equal distribution of development if that can be achieved across the whole count. We know equity cannot be achieved because we are at different levels in terms of development. However, anything which can push towards a positive margin of achieving equity, that should be appreciated. And that's why we are saying, all other things are constant. There's no need of the governor keeping too much money under his dispensation It is good to have some kind of release to other wards. At the end of the day, it's the same person developing, not even the MCA. On the part of the ceilings of the county assembly, the speaker, if there's anybody who has information about the ceilings, is the clerk, as the able chair of budget quoted. And if they sat down with the clerk and they looked at the fingers of other budgets, fault lines, our expenses, our executions, then I think proper public participation was done, because the people who handle financial matters for the county assembly were consulted, and they sat down, having the fact that we have mandated him as a committee of budget and as the leader of the budget to speak for us on matters of budget. So I think it's actually profound and right what fingers he gave you. There should be no fear when it comes to the issue of whether we are consulted, because whatever they do for us, we have that particular honesty and the trust upon them, bestowed by the standing orders, bestowed by the Constitution, bestowed by the will of the people who are seated here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will just mention the two items which have been mentioned by Honorable Muthoka and also Honorable Elizabeth Mutindi. The ceiling of that 9 million per ward on development, members, you can attest the impact it has caused in our wards, and that's the reason why we are recommending it to 39 and not 36, because if you check the increment on revenue, both the on-source revenue, grants, and equitable share, you'll see it's just 1%. So we are at the same budget which we had, because 1% is so minute, but it can, it's relatively there, because the increment is 1%. So from 36 to 39, if you maintain that, Honorable Speaker, I feel that it can cause a lot of impact. On the ceiling of the county assembly, Honorable Speaker, even without much explanation, we cannot say 10 million which was allocated, or the ceiling of 10 million for the development of the county assembly, based on the fact that we have an administration block which has not been completed. It cannot be completed by 10 million. Therefore, through the wisdom of the of the Budget and Appropriation Committee, we had to engage the clerk to come up with the right figures, which we can now amend as per our recommendation, so that at the end of the day, we may budget as our recommendation when it comes to budget estimates for this financial year, which is ongoing right now, Honorable Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, we have done our observation, we have done our recommendation with timelines, and I feel the report before us, Honorable Speaker, it is going to help the people of Makueni and also help this county assembly to oversight what is happening. And if you go through this document, you see the priorities of the county government of Makueni, what we want.
Chairperson. Chairperson.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move the following motion, that this Assembly adopts the report of Committee on Health Services on the oversight on the status of operations of health facilities across the county, conducted on 26th, 27th, and 28th, and 30th September 2024, laid on the table of the Assembly on 20th March 2025. Mr. Speaker, sir, the county government of Makueni financial year 2024-2025 allocated 380 million for supply of medical drugs and other commodities in the health facilities across the county. Further, the County Assembly of Makueni, the Makueni County, but there's a County Assembly of Makueni facilities across the county. Further, the County Assembly of Makueni, the Makueni County Universal Health Care Policy 2022 for implementation by the County Executive Department of Health Services. However, there have been
challenges facing the delivery of health services, such as inadequate medical supplies, inactive Makueni care card, inadequate staffing, poor doctor-to-patient relationship, among others. Mr. Speaker, in view of the above, the County Assembly Liaison Committee approved an oversight activity on the county health facilities across the county to be undertaken by the County Assembly, being led by the Committee on Health Services, which is mandated to oversee matters health. The committee developed comprehensive terms of references, 7 parts for use during the oversight exercise as outlined below. Number 1, general questions. Number 1, name of the facility and its category. The 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Number 2, accessibility to the facility established, the road network and status. 3, establish whether the facility was connected to water and electricity or power backup. 4, to establish whether the facility was 24-hour service. B, medical drugs and commodities. Number 5 was to establish when, lastly, were the drugs and other commodities delivered to the facilities. Number 6, to establish the quantity requested from the facility in comparison with the quantity delivered. Number 7, to establish the type categories of drugs delivered, get to know which drugs were not supplied in the facility. Number 8, to establish whether the supply was enough for the first quarter, Friday 27th, Saturday 28th, and Monday 30th, September 2024, respectively. Committee observation and finding. Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee received report from the 15 subcommittees, considered all the issues reported, and made the following general observation and findings. 1, close to 95% of the health facilities in the county had good and well-maintained access roads. 2, most of the health facilities, referral sub-counties, and health centers in the county were connected to water or had water harvesting structures and electricity with backups. And that's save for most of the level 2 facilities, that is dispensaries. The county referral and sub-county health facilities were operational for 24 hours, while other facilities operated only daytime. The model health facilities were yet to be operationalized. Generally, medical supplies for the first quarter were supplied in the second week of August 2024, while the supplies for the second quarter were expected to be delivered in the second week of October 2024. Number 5, generally there was inadequate budget. There was inadequate budget for medical drugs, since most of the health facilities had run out of some drugs, specifically antihypertensives, and anti-diabetic drugs, and which were available, other common drugs could not last for remaining period of the quarter.